Welcome back, everybody, to Clashing Conferences podcast. This is part two of our weekly podcast, where each week we will spin our spin wheel to get three topics of conversation for the following week, and also three things for our four participants of the podcast and all four teams and all the fans to root for each week. And we'll tally those points up. At the end of the year, we'll have a winner. So this is kind of how our spin wheel spins. I think maybe we'll spin it one time, kind of show you quickly how it works here, and it will land on something each week. For example, quarterback rating. So if it
And you don't
lands
got to
on
worry about
quarterback
winning that,
rating,
Paul.
feel like Danny Dimes is going to win every quarterback category in this each week when it comes to Chris.
Definitely week one.
Rushing yards, any single player. So if Saquon Barkley goes off for 200 yards one week and it's the most by any player in the NFC's conference, then Chris Peterson and the New York Giants will get a point for that week. And then rushing touchdowns would also be something, that we would discuss on our weekly podcast. Team win. Pretty self-explanatory there. Your team gets a win, you get a point for the week. So that's kind of how the spin wheel is going to work. I'm going to run through each of the categories real quick. We saw quarterback rating, team win. We also have points allowed by the defense. So if, the Eagles pitch a shutout one week and every other team gives up a couple of points, and the Eagles and Greg Stanley would get a point in our internal competition that week. We have reception yards by any single individual player, rushing yards by any individual player. So whoever has the most rushing or receiving yards in those categories amongst everyone in the conference, whoever that is and what team they play for, that team and that rep will get a point for the week. We have sacks for the defense. We have interceptions for the defense. We have rushing yards by a quarterback. Go ahead and chime in, Chris.
What's that? Rushing. Go ahead,
Rushing
Greg.
yards by a quarterback. Danny Dimes going to win that every time?
Not
Until
every
the turf
time. He's going to
monster
be throwing the
catches up
ball
with
this
him.
year.
Okay. All right. So we got that. We have most points by an offense. I think Washington will be getting a lot of those points. Longest touchdown by any player.
That'll be CeeDee
Turnovers,
Lamb.
plus or minus.
CeeDee Lamb every week.
And Chris, by the way, those sacks by defense are nut sacks in your face, buddy.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot of. We
Those
should have a
sacks-
point for trash talk of the week.
Those sacks by defense are going to be Jalen Hurts and Danny Dimes eating turf, I feel like, all year long when they play the Cowboys. Oh, Ed Howell, I forgot about him.
We all forgot about him.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows
I'll
him.
try and remember the Redskins are still in this.
And the last spot on our wheel is a prop bet host pick. So these guys all know I'm a big gambler. Each week if it lands on that, I'll come up with something. It might be something as simple as, does your team beat the spread? And if your team beats the spread or covers the spread, you get a point for the week. If they don't and they get blown out by 30, even if your spread was 27, Paul, you don't cover the spread, you don't get a point. So that's kind of generally how our spin wheel is going to work. Let's bring our four reps for each of the teams back in here and talk real quick about some of those categories. Which categories are you looking forward to winning the most each week? You think you're going to get quarterback rating? Do you think you're going to get most sacks because you've got a great D line? Give me something about your team, maybe one category that you're looking forward to dominating this year. Who wants to go first?
I want to hear the. I want you to make me a promise that if it lands on prop bet, that prop bet is going to be a chance that Trey Lance comes in for Dak Prescott, and it's going to be for non-injury reasons.
It's a pretty hard prop bet to make as a point category for all four of you, but we can try to figure something out.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we got four quarterbacks. You can borrow one of them if you need, Paul. You too, Topher. I know you guys are in desperate need.
So. We don't need a quarterback, buddy.
Oh, dude, you need one of ours better than yours. I'll tell you,
We're gonna
40
find out
million.
week 1. I can't wait to week 1, baby.
Me too. Me too.
So
But no,
I hope the cat is there a category of passing touchdowns, Mike? Is there one? There's one that we didn't get that right.
Well, I mean, receiving touchdowns would be the same as passing touchdowns. You know, number caught by any number of passing touchdowns thrown would be the same as receiving touchdowns. You think Danny Dimes throwing the most touchdowns this year, huh?
I
No.
think week 1. Nah, not for the year. Not for the year. But week 1, I think week 1 he'll drop 3 on the Cowboys.
Okay, all right.
yeah,
Defense. Go ahead, Randy.
I'm just looking forward to the defensive. I think the Cowboys are going to be good. I think the run game is going to be it for the Cowboys, at least better than the Eagles and probably better than the Giants this year. I don't know about the Skins, but those are two categories I think will do well in.
I was honestly going to go with running back. I know Saquon got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to be looking to reset the NFL market. He wants running backs to get paid again. He took a lot of incentives in his adjusted contract. He's basically betting on himself. He wants to be a Giant for life, and he wants to change the whole narrative that it doesn't matter what running back you have. So I want to see a lot of rushing categories. I think Saquon's going to have a good year.
Yeah, I'm going to go with receiving touchdowns. I think our with Devontae, AJ Brown, Dallas Goddard. But I will throw some bold prediction in there that the Eagles running backs will get a couple of those weeks. And I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say that by week 10, there is a running back combo in our backfield called Taylor Swift. You heard it first. I say we get Jonathan Taylor right for the heart of our lineup, right before we go at Dallas. So I'm thinking by early December, we have Jonathan Taylor part of our stable of running backs.
This ain't the Errors tour. That ain't happening at all. I don't want to hear anything about no Taylor Swift in here.
I would say if you guys get Jonathan Taylor, that's a marked improvement on that garbage running back team you guys have. So I can agree. If you get Jonathan Taylor, it would be an improvement.
Hey, last time how we did that, Jay Ajayi, and it ended up working pretty well in our favor. Give us our Super Bowl. So I'm thinking something's going on behind the scenes. Stay tuned.
Going on now.
Well, you know how
I remember
he
Blunt
said,
doing all right.
Yeah.
Topher here was saying how Saquon's got a chip on his shoulder, but Topher, you're forgetting all the plates in his legs too. There's a lot of different chips and plates and stuff he's got going on, and hopefully the chip in his shoulder can outproduce the chip in his leg.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Running around like Grant Hill out there, ankle and everything, looking like a road map.
Yeah, I think our field that helped a lot. I mean, Giants over the years we had a lot of injuries, and they say that the new turf is way different. They all are noticing a difference. So I think I played a big role, and he's not going to be used just in the backfield. They're going to throw the ball to him a lot as well. That's going to be we're going to be shifty. There's going to be a lot of pre-snap movement. There's going to be guys coming every which way. You're going to know if it's Paris Campbell, Darren Waller, Saquon Barkley. It's going to be a lot of things. He's going to catch the ball a lot this year too. He's going to have a big year.
Paris Campbell. Wow.
Bunch of guys
I think he was our. Yeah. What is he?
You're right.
He's like your fourth receiver.
He had a really good year last year for the Colts, and he didn't have a quarterback. Now he got a quarterback. He's going to have a good year. I like Paris Campbell.
Paul,
I'm glad that we drafted. I'm definitely glad that we drafted Terry McLaurin over Paris Campbell. He was supposed to be the higher one coming out of Ohio State, but I still think we ended up on top with Terry McLaurin over him.
I agree with that. Terry McLaurin, he's special, but Paris Campbell. Yeah.
So, Paul, you're the only one that didn't give a category yet. Do you not see the Redskins winning a single category this year?
No, I mean I like that defense actually. That our Alabama defensive line there, and got back the Predator now, Chase Young. I'm really looking forward to seeing
bust.
Someone. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and some cadaver ACLs in his knee, but. I think he's definitely got a chip on his shoulder. Got something to prove. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option. It's a pay for play kind of scenario, and he's aware that they want him to stay, but you got to be able to prove it first. So I think he's definitely going to come out there with a vengeance, and I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds
We'll
good.
see. I kind of forgot about him. What's he got? About 7, 8 sacks in 3 years, something like that. He hasn't done much. He's been pretty much a bust since he's been there.
Keep going. That's fine. We're just going to wait
I'm
until we give him $40
just
million.
calling.
We're not just going to give him $40 million after we learn that he can read and write correctly. We're going to do it based on his actual play for more than a couple weeks.
I think by the end of the year, you're going to think that's a pay cut. I mean, he's like the 12th, 13th highest paid quarterback right now, and it's only going to go higher. Did Joe Burrow get paid yet? Like it's
Mm-mm.
it's going to be it's going to be like a pay cut, man.
You mean Joe Burrow, who's
I do
been
like
in
my
the
regime.
Super Bowl? Joe Burrow, who's taken his team
No,
to
that's
the
what I'm
Super
saying.
Bowl? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's going to get paid, and Jones is going to be like the 13th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And yeah, I mean,
And their team's going to be 9-7.
why wouldn't it be like a pay cut? I mean, I think he can be a top 5, top 6 quarterback after this season. You guys will see it. So,
man, those numbers just
all
keep
he needed
going
was the
down.
tools.
Those numbers just keep going down, Topher. It was 3 a couple of weeks ago, and then
No,
5
I mean,
earlier today, and now you're saying 6. Let's just say top 12, 15, and then you're right in the ballpark.
yeah, I mean, I would only take 3 over him. Like I said,
I'll
I would
give
only
you
take 3 over him.
I'll
Like
give you top
I would take
15 in
Pat
the
Mahomes,
NFC.
Burrow, and probably Josh Allen.
I'll give you top 15 in the NFC. I will give you that. Danny Dimes is top 15 in the NFC.
Dallas got 4 quarterbacks, and none of them can start on our team.
Yeah, well.
There's definitely going to be plenty of trash talk with this crew this year. Looking forward to the whole thing. So that's generally, how everything's going to work here each week. The first half we'll talk about the week that had just just happened. The second half, we'll do our spin wheel to get 3 topics to root for the following week, and we'll talk a little bit about the upcoming week. So, with that, I think we'll end this episode and look forward to seeing everybody and talking next week about real live football coming up week 1. We're not that far away, guys. I know you're all excited. So am I. We'll be back soon.
See you then.
See ya.